Hi guys, welcome to another video by Optionables. This video will be mainly focused on futures. So we will be discussing at Optionables how do we use futures for hedging our portfolio, as well as at Optionables how do we do investing through futures. So I am going to tell you both. I am also going to tell you the advantages and disadvantages of both. So what you can see in our position book right now is 10 future contracts, right? And you can see here the Bank Nifty future contract right now is 0, right? Which means I don't have any contracts open in Bank Nifty. Today itself I closed everything in Bank Nifty. So till yesterday I had it open, but today I closed everything. So now we will discuss about the remaining 9 contracts. So you can see in the remaining 9 contracts, right? So the first 8 contracts are stock futures. And you can see the stocks as well. It is Infosys, Hindustan Unilever, Dabur, Kotak, Nestle, Reliance, TCS, and so on. So these are the futures which we have purchased as investment. So that is really important to remember. These are the futures. The stock futures are the futures which we have purchased as investments. And Nifty future is something which I have purchased as hedge for the portfolio. So these are the two important things you have to remember. Nifty future is the hedge for the portfolio, whereas the stock futures are nothing but the actual investment. So these are purchased as investments. So now the question is, what is the advantage of investing through futures? Like, how do you first of all invest through futures, and what is the advantage of investing through futures? So I'm going to give you an overview of how exactly you can do this and how it will be helping you as well. So now the thing is, you can see here TCS I have 300 quantity open. So that is one lot of futures is 300 quantity. So now you tell me, if you want to buy 300 equity shares of TCS, how much will you be paying? So you will be paying 3200 into 300. You will be paying around 9,60,000 in cash to purchase futures, right? To purchase the equity shares. I am going to tell you the advantages as well as disadvantages of investing in futures. So just remember, you will require 9,60,000 cash margin to purchase equity shares of TCS, right? So now we will talk about futures. I'll just open the margin calculator right over here. Whereas to purchase one lot TCS futures, which is 300 quantity, I just require 2 lakh rupees. So now you're seeing the difference right over there, right? So you just require 2 lakh rupees here, whereas to purchase the same amount of equity shares, you require 9,60,000, which means you almost require 4 times lesser amount to purchase. So this is the first advantage. I will just write it down. So what are the advantages of investing through futures? First and foremost, I require 4x lesser margin. So instead of requiring 9.6 lakh, I just require 2 lakh to invest in same amount of equity shares. So now what is the advantage of this particular thing? I will tell you. So this also acts as a disadvantage, but I am going to tell you what is the advantage. If TCS goes from, right, if TCS goes from 3,200 to 6,400, let's assume TCS goes from 3,200 to 6,400. So if you had invested in TCS shares, let's say you purchase 300 shares at 3,200, then your money would have been doubled. So you will get 9.6 lakh profit on an investment of 9.6 lakh on 9.6 lakh investment. So now instead of the same thing, if I purchase through futures, I am going to get the same profit, because future also goes rupee to rupee. So it follows the spot rupee to rupee. If TCS is going up by 100 points, even the futures will go up by 100 points. So that means I am going to get 9.6 lakh profit on an investment of only 2 lakh. So which means my investment or return on my investment in the first case is just 100%, whereas in the second case it is almost close to 475%. So this is the difference how you can maximize your returns through futures. So this is one really important thing you have to understand. Because you are getting this margin, you will be able to maximize your returns through futures. So here I am just discussing about the advantages. I'll also be coming to the disadvantages later on. So the second advantage what you have in investing in futures is you don't require cash. Cash is not required. So if I am buying equity shares of say TCS 300 quantity, I will have to keep 9.6 lakh cash. So I have no other option. Whereas if I am buying futures, right? So I don't have to keep cash. I can put it in Bharat bonds. I can put say around 10 lakh in Bharat bonds, right? And I can pledge the Bharat bonds and use 2 lakh for my TCS investment. I can put 10 lakh in say some debt funds which is yielding me around 10%. I can pledge this and buy my futures. So this way I can put it in different instruments, pledge the shares or securities and obtain margin on that and purchase futures. So now I will tell you what is the advantage of doing the same. So this is again we are just discussing about the advantages. So the advantages, let's say I put in a HDFC debt fund which is offering me 8%, right? So I invest 10 lakh rupees in a HDFC say credit risk debt fund which is offering me 8%, right? Which means I am going to get a fixed return of 80,000 rupees. No matter what, I am going to get a fixed return of 80,000 rupees. This is fixed. So now let's say for 4 lakh, I end up purchasing 600 quantity. So 600 quantity of TCS or 2 lots of futures. So when I do that, let's say TCS tomorrow shoots up somewhere close to around 20%. So then on the same 10 lakh investment, because I have invested in futures, I am going to get a further, along with this 80,000, I am further going to get somewhere close to 4 lakh rupees as my profit. So overall, I ended up getting 4 lakh 80,000 rupees on an investment of just 10 lakh. So I got 8% from my investment plus 2 lots of futures gave me a return of 4 lakh rupees. So I have purchased 2 lots of futures using the collateral margin. I haven't put additional margin. I have pledged the shares and used the collateral margin. And let's say TCS goes up 20% in this particular year, I am going to get additional 4 lakh rupees and that is going to become 4 lakh 80,000 on an investment of just 10 lakh rupees. So this is the biggest advantage what you have investing in futures. So you don't have to keep cash. You can pledge your existing shares and buy futures on the collateral. So these two are the major advantage. One, because of the leverage you will be getting, you will be maximizing your returns. So that is the first major advantage. Second one, you don't have to keep cash. You can buy a bond which is giving you a fixed return of 8 to 10%, and later you can pledge that and then buy TCS futures. So this way you will be getting advantage of both a fixed income as well as returns from TCS. So these are the two main advantages of putting or investing in futures. Now coming to disadvantages. So the first biggest disadvantage is if you buy futures, you are not going to get dividends. So you are not entitled to dividends. So even if the company declares any dividend, you are not going to get it. Dividends not received. So the second disadvantage is obviously if the leverage is going to help you go on the upside, it is also going to make you fall on the downside. So you're using a 4x margin with investing in futures. If your leverage is pushing you up on the top, it will also push you downwards. So the example for this is, let's say I buy one lot of TCS futures paying 2 lakh, right? So which means I get 300 quantity of TCS futures. So now the thing is, if this price falls, say just around 500 points, all it has to do is just fall 500 points and I am going to wipe out around 1.5 lakh. So which technically means I have lost 75% of my capital just for a fall of 500 points in TCS. So this is the biggest risk what you have while investing in futures. So this is the biggest risk you carry, the downward side. And the third one is every time you roll over a future, you will be paying somewhere around 0.5% extra. So technically with this itself, you will be losing around 6% every year, because every time you roll over a future, you might have only seen that next month future will generally be priced higher. For example, you can see July future is priced 3217. So if I add say August future, I'll just clear my market watch. So you can see that August future is priced 3228, whereas July future is priced 3217. So the 10 points extra. So every month on an average you will end up paying around 0.5% extra. But that is absolutely fine. So even you pay 0.5% extra, it is absolutely fine. I will tell you why. So let's say you will lose 6%, right? So you are going to lose 6% as a rollover cost. But I will tell you what exactly will happen. Even though you are losing the 6% as a rollover cost, let's say end of the year, you are going to get somewhere around, assume let's say TCS is going to give a return of somewhere around 14%. So TCS stock goes up by 14%. So you lost 6%, right? If you had invested in equities, you would have gotten 14%. But since you are investing in futures, you lost 6%. So which means you only got 8% return. But the thing is, because of this 4x leverage, this 8% itself is going to get multiplied by 4. It is going to give you a return of 32% on your invested capital. So this is really important, because you have only put in 2 lakh and you are getting 8% of 9.5 lakh. So that is what you have to remember. Even though you have just put in 2 lakh, you are getting 8% of 9.5 lakh, which is 32% on the invested capital. So even with this rollover cost, it is absolutely fine. There is nothing to worry. So now the thing is, how is the right way to approach investing in futures, right? So now the important point is, if you are looking at a dividend stock, then do not invest in futures. For example, if you want to invest in ITC, if you want to invest in REC or PFC, then do not consider investing in futures, because you are not going to get the dividend. The biggest return REC shareholders get is the dividend yield of around 8%, 10%. But if you invest in futures, you are not going to get the dividend at all. So do not invest in futures if you are investing in a dividend paying stock. Now, if you are investing in a growth stock. So now we have also seen what is the risk involved in investing through futures also. So now I will tell you, for example, let's say, so to enter this TCS position, I have just put in around 2 lakh rupees. So not much margin is required. But the thing is, tomorrow if this 3000 becomes 0, I am going to lose 9 lakh rupees. But I am absolutely fine with that, because I am okay to lose 9 lakh rupees, because I know TCS as a company is going to grow in the longer run. So I like to invest in TCS equity shares, and I am okay with taking the risk of 9 lakh, because if TCS goes to 6000 tomorrow, I am going to get 9 lakh return on an investment of 2 lakh. So I am going to get 4 times the return on the investment of 2 lakh. So now if I ask you which is more likely to happen, so there is higher probability for TCS going to 6000 rather than going to 0, which means I have a higher probability of earning 9 lakh compared to losing this 9 lakh, because there is more chance of TCS going up higher. So this is, I am looking with an investment perspective, right? So, but I am also ready to risk this 9 lakh because I believe in TCS. Even though we have around 4 crore margin overall, we have just entered 111 lot in each of these. So we haven't increased our lots. Why? Because tomorrow if everything goes down to 0, we are okay. There is absolutely nothing to worry about, because we have sufficient margin to cover all the losses. So if I end up increasing it to 10 lots, 20 lots or 30 lots, my upside is going to be extremely amazing. But the thing is, the most important thing is I have to think about the downside. So now if everything goes down to 0, right, I am still going to lose somewhere around, say I have 8 futures long, right? So 8 into approximately 10 lakh, 80 lakh. So if everything tomorrow, TCS becomes 0, Reliance becomes 0, Nestle becomes 0, worst case loss is 80 lakh. So the next question is, right? So if you look at the stocks here, HDFC Bank, Dabur, Infosys, Kotak Bank, Nestle, and if I ask, what do you expect in the next 5 to 7 years? The most likely answer would be, I would be expecting these stocks to double or give me a return of at least 100% or double in the next 5 to 7 years, right? That is the normal expectation what we have. So this is just a growth rate of somewhere close to 12% CAGR. Which is more likely to happen in the next 5 to 7 years? These, all the shares over here going down to 0, or all the shares here giving me a return of 100%, right? So most likely all these shares will be returning me 100% compared to they going down to 0, which means I will be actually getting a return of 80 lakh in the next 5 years. So this will be my expected return. But the thing is, here totally I have 9 lots of futures, which means on average I have only spent around 20 lakh. So which means on an investment of 20 lakh, I am getting a return of 80 lakh in the next 5 years, which is almost close to 400%. So this is the most important thing, and this is why we have invested in futures. Just for an investment of 20 lakh, right? We are most likely to get a return of 80 lakh in the next 5 years. So now what is the catch here? What is the thing you have to note here? The thing is, in worst case scenarios, you need to have sufficient cash to cover the M2M losses. So you don't need cash to enter the contract, but you will need cash to cover the M2M losses. A simple example, let's say TCS from 3,200 shoots up to 4,000 rupees. So now this is sufficient M2M profit. So 800 rupees is sufficient M2M profit. Even though it comes down, say, to 3,500 rupees, I don't have to pump in any additional cash because it is still not below my purchase price. But what if it actually falls below my purchase price? So that is, let's say it falls to 3,000 from 3,200. Then I will have to have sufficient cash, that is 200 into lot size is 300, which means I need to have sufficient cash of worth rupees 60,000 in my account. So you will have to have cash to cover your M2M losses, but in the longer run, it is absolutely fine. So once your investment returns you 30-40%, the M2M profit itself is more than sufficient. Manage your M2M losses. So now you might ask, Saket, from how long have you been doing this? So let me tell you. So most of the futures you see here was entered long back during the month of June and July of 2020. This TCS future, what you see here, is a future which we are carrying from the levels of 2200. Every month we roll over the future. So this is in a very comfortable position. Reliance future is what we are carrying from 1300 levels. Nestle futures from almost 14,000 levels. Kotak Bank from almost 1350 levels. So we are doing this month over month for almost around 12 months now. So it's been a year now since we are rolling over the futures. And HDFC Bank, since it was around 1000 to 1050. We also had Bajaj Finance, where we had entered at 2000 levels and we squared it off at 6000. And we also had entered Bajaj Finserv, where we entered at 8500 and squared it off at 12,000. So this way we are doing this from quite some time, and it has given us fabulous returns. And Infosys right over here, we had purchased somewhere around 800 levels, and now it is at 1500. So now do you expect Infosys to come back to 800? At least I don't expect Infosys to fall back to 800 anytime soon, which means it is enough to cover my M2M losses almost till the point it falls below 800. I don't even have to think about Infosys, or I don't even have to think about keeping any additional cash till Infosys falls below 800. Because whatever M2M profits Infosys has given me, that is more than enough to cover for all the M2M losses till it falls below my purchase price of 800. Once your investment significantly shoots up, that will cover or take care of the M2M losses on its own. So this is one glimpse which I wanted to give how we have been investing through futures for quite some time now. So this is something you have to note while you plan to invest in futures, right? So this was a short video on futures and how you can invest through futures. We have discussed about the advantages as well as the disadvantages. And in part 2, so this is the first part of the video. In the second part or part 2, we will be discussing about how to hedge with futures. So this Nifty future of 1150 short, whatever you see here, is a hedge we have taken against our portfolio. Try to help you understand the logic behind how you can use future as a hedging instrument. The stock futures what you saw are more of an investment, whereas the Nifty future is more of a hedge which we have taken. So that is the overall future positions we are having. And with that we come to the end of this video. I hope you have liked the video, as we have discussed about both the advantages as well as disadvantages of investing through futures. One more thing what you have to remember is to enter you don't need cash, but you will have to have cash to take your M2M losses. So that is one more important thing which you will have to keep in mind. So I hope you guys have liked this video. If you are liking the content on this channel, please do hit the like button, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining guys, and I'll see you soon in the next video.